Lots of us have family over for the holiday seasons, unlike me, but I've seen this being, well, not a common issue, probably an issue that some people are going to experience. Family, obviously, are living creatures, and living creatures need to take shits and pisses. Now, what happens if you have thousands and thousands, at least 20 people at your house, and they all have to take a shit? That toilet ain't gonna be very clean afterwards, so I introduce to you my newest invention. 'Tis the season to be jolly. This is going in your toilet tonight. The Christmas tree toilet brush. Clean the toilet in style. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Besides, wow, why the fuck are so many copies of piano lessons? I'm finally getting to the point. More and more and more tales to give you goosebumps. I don't even have to fucking think about it. Writing this thing down is chaotic. This is the longest Goosebumps book title of all time. There is nothing that is longer than more and more and more tales that give you goosebumps. Like, holy shit, is that a long one. Please Don't Feed the Vampire, nothing. Invasion of the Body Squeezers Part 2, nothing. More and more and more tales that give you goosebumps is long as shit, okay? And yeah, we're finally doing a review for a fucking Tales book. This is the first Tales book review. We'll probably see some for 2 and 5 eventually in the coming months, because I also read those too. And I have read the first one, of course, but I haven't read it in like 5 years, so I have to do a reread next year. And obviously, I'll get the other ones out eventually. I plan to review all of these before the end of next year, and I'll probably review them and in like sync with each season, so you'll probably see Tales book free next, if anything, and then you'll see the summer ones in the summer. But yeah, we're going to start off with more and more and more Tales Give You Goosebumps, the final Tales book with the final tales in the Tales series, and some of the worst, people say. And yeah, there are some bad ones in here, but there's also some really good ones. So yeah, this is my first Tales book to review, so this is going to be a tough one. I don't know how I'm doing this exactly, since there's 10 stories in this, but we're just going to go for it. So yeah, let's get to the blurb. And now, we're the blurb. Will Brad learn to care for his pet drunk before it takes care of him? Can Samantha sit through a boring nutcracker ballad without cracking up? For real? Are Max's new monster cakes putting him on the thin ice? Has Sam been caught in the bone-chilling grip of an ice vampire? Blah, 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 I want the sucker. Blood. Find out in these 10 creepy Goosebumps short stories guaranteed to fill you with holiday fear. Goofy. This is a very much Christmas-focused book, obviously. Reviewing this for Christmas, this is my Christmas pizza this year, and I gotta say, this did knock me into the Christmas mood, so that is good. This is knocking me into it, since I'm reading another Christmas book right now, and has basically jack shit to do with Christmas, besides the fact that it takes place during Christmas. And yeah, this actually had, like, Christmas-related stuff. Like, there's some of the later stories, specifically, like, the final 2 were heavily about Christmas, like, or at least the second to last one. That was majorly about Christmas. No spoilers yet. Of course, we're gonna get into spoilers, like, right after this, and yeah, I've gotta say, this book was really enjoyable. There were a lot of good stuff in this, but I don't know where to put it. Like, would it be higher than Tales book number 2? Because that one's, like, the best one. I don't know if this would be the best Tales book, but it's certainly a good read for the holiday season, and there's some stories in here that are ass, but there's some really good ones, in my opinion, so yeah. Let's get to it, I guess. So, starting with the upsides, we're going to name off all the good stories, bad stories, and the qualities I see within the good stories, and even the bad stories. So yeah, let's start off with the stories that I believe are good. Alright, so let me just flip to it. The contents, and I will be going a little detail on a few of them, just a few of them, since, of course, I don't want to go make this review like 20 fucking minutes. Nutcracker Nightmare was just okay. Just like above okay, like the highest okay I'll ever give anything. It had a good concept and had a dark ending. That's about all I can say about it. The Ice Vampire was a great concept, and I really liked it, with the idea of ice sculptures coming to life, and the twist ending tied into that a bit more, and it makes you wonder if all these sculptures are alive, and it's very interesting. I really like that one. A Holly Jolly Holiday was really interesting. I really liked the concept. Once again, it was very well executed, and yeah, really good ending too. Monster on the Ice was pretty damn good as well. I really enjoyed that one. Once again, great concept. Didn't like the ending too much, but overall the story was just good, and it was very entertaining to read. The Double Dip Horror was one of the best ones, because it actually had something really dark in it, which is involving a kid's death. So I thought that was really, like, dark, and I know a lot of people like this one more than all the other stories, so I can see why. Santa's Helpers was also pretty good. I really like that one, because it's one of the more goofy stories in Goosebumps. So with the next one here. And yeah, you basically get kidnapped by elves because they think you're escaped elves from the North Pole. And yeah, when you try to convince them that you're not by taking them to your house, your sister says no, because you already told her like 1,000 things about how she's adopted or some shit, and she's not your sister. Attacked the Christmas present, which I thought was good. It had a goofy ending, a very, very goofy ending. The villain actually was very reminiscent of a character from Puppet Master. I don't recommend watching that, by the way. And yeah, there's very interesting stories. Most of them were at least good. There were only 3 in there that I thought were actually, like, bad. Some of them weren't even, like, awful. They were just, like, they're kinda bad. Kinda. And yeah, for those stories, they usually had good concepts, which was the running theme in this book. Even the bad ones had interesting concepts, or the ones I didn't like. And yeah, they just, overall, very interesting concepts all throughout this book. Which I'm sure is a common theme of other Tales books, because Tales 2 had a lot of interesting stuff. Tales 5 was not the most interesting, but it was still had some interesting stuff in there. And with the other ones from I recall, like Tales 1, I mean, I know a lot of Tales in there. Very interesting concepts, and yeah, this one had a lot of well-executed ones, obviously, since I do like 7 out of the 10 stories in this book, so that's good. And yeah, besides that, I think it was very well written for probably half this book being ghost written. I'm like dead set on that being true. Like, it is basically confirmed, but honestly, I'm sure at least 5 of these, like, goddamn. The only one confirmed to be ghost written is actually Why I Hate Jack Frost, but I'm sure way more than that are ghost written in this book, since I believe the lady who said she did ghost write some of these said she wrote at least like 5 of these, so. I really have nothing else to say. Let's move on to the downsides with the stories I hated and the things I didn't like about the stories I did hate and did like. So, what did I hate about this book, or dislike? Alright, so the tales in this book that I do not enjoy are set on the Gronk. The fucking first one, which gave me a bad taste going into this book, but it got better. Way better. Why I Hate Jack Frost, fuck you. I already know everybody is commenting on the video. I know you guys. I know who's commenting right the fuck now, if you're actually watching this. No. That story was awful. Marshmallow Surprise, right after that, was fucking stupid. Okay? It started off really good, and then the ending absolutely destroyed that book. Sorry, that story. It destroyed it. It wasn't even hinted at all in the story. It just happened. Son of the Gronk was awful, besides the concept, which was not well executed, because it's just not a great concept to execute. It sounds good on paper, but it's not. It sounds good in your head, but it isn't well executed, you know, on paper. On a paperback book. But, yeah, it's just. And why I hate Jack Frost, why I hate this story, the character's some Christmas fucking psychopath. And if you guys don't notice, I do not like Christmas that much. I may have the setup and everything, and I honestly do this to make you guys happy, because I like it. It looks pretty. It is very much pretty in the daytime. It's just like, this character's fucking obsessed. They live in Arizona now. They just moved, and she's just like, I want snow. I want Christmas. Go, go, gaga. And she starts having nightmares. Well, sorry. Dreams that turn into nightmares later on about Christmas. And yeah, the only, like, positive I can give that story was good character. Sorry, good villain. But yeah, I just did not really enjoy that one. I don't recommend reading it unless you like, bad stories. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I fucking said it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this book, I'm gonna say, 7.5 out of 10. I think there's better ones out there. And I think 8 out of 10 is just a little too high. I might have to move this down, because upon rethinking, yeah, the Tales Book 2 and even 5, maybe, are definitely better than this. Okay, not 5. But I think this was just fairly enjoyable for what it had. And a running theme of good concepts, which I see throughout these Tales books so far, minus Book 5, which really didn't have anything unique. It was just really simple, for the most part. Yeah, this just had a lot of great concepts, which most were well executed, but some were just concepts that weren't supposed to be executed, like Set on the Gronk. That was awful. No. Some I just did not like to read, like Jack Frost and Marshmallow Surprise with its awful fucking ending. That absolutely ruined it, because it just didn't make sense. And yeah, besides those, like, free stories, the book was overall a pretty damn good one. But those free stories really do drag it down a lot, since those free in Pacific were just... I think I'm just going to pop my individual ratings for each of the stories here, just in case you're curious to know what I think of each, like, out of 10. And yeah, overall the book, 7.5 out of 10, like I said. It's just really good. Tell me your thoughts on this book below. I'd love to hear it. I know probably not a lot of people have read this one, because, you know, it's one of the harder to get books. It's a very rare one. If you have read it, though, please tell me. I'd love to hear it. And Agent Balls signing out. Yes, this is real. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one, okay? Bye! That was fucking cringe!